Welcome students, this is your day 9 video in our countdown to STAR. Today we're going to talk about combining like terms and the distributive property. These are two things we learned way back in September, but we still use them from time to time, and so you need to make sure that you understand them. Alright, let's start with like terms. Like terms mean that you have the same variables, so the same letter, and the exact same exponent. So 2x, 3x, and x are like terms. Because they all have the variable x. 2x squared, 3x squared, and 9x squared are like terms because they all have the x squared. 5, 6, and 10 are like terms because they all have no letter. 6xy, 8xy, and 1xy are like terms because they both have xy's. Okay. Let's talk about some things that are not like terms. 9x, 10x squared, and 5 are not like terms. None of those are like terms. 9x, 10x squared, and 3x. 9x and 3x are like terms, but 10x squared is not a like term. When we think about combining like terms, combining means to either add or subtract them, and we do that based on the signs that the numbers have. Here's some examples. If I have 5x plus 3y plus 2 plus 6x minus 5y, then one of the strategies you can do is rewrite them where you put the family members together. So 5x plus 6x would go together. 3y minus 5y would go together. And the plus 2 would go on the end. And then you combine these. 5 plus 6 is what you type in your calculator. That's 11x. 3 minus 5 is what you type in your calculator, negative 2y. And plus 2 is part of the no-name family, so you can't combine him with anybody. So the simplified version of this would be 11x minus 2y plus 2. An application for this problem: what is the perimeter of this rectangle? So perimeter means you're going to add up all the sides. So we could write that out as one big long problem. 4x plus 4x plus 2 plus another 4x plus another 4x plus 2. Then you could 4x, 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 4x. So you don't have to rewrite it if you don't want to. You can come up with, and I think in our class we talked about some kind of identifying system where you underline all of the x's like that. Then you might put a circle around the no-names, and then you combine your terms. So this would be 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, which is 16x, and this is 2 plus 2, which is 4. And so 16x plus 4 would be your final answer. Okay. We can even be asked today solving situation where you'd have something like 4x plus 2x plus 8 equals 24. And so before you got started, you could draw your line down, but you'd have to combine that to make 6x plus 8 equals 24. Then you would solve from there. So minus 8 to both sides. That cancels. 6x equals 24 minus 18 is 16. Then we divide by 6. X equals. That won't divide, so we can just do 16 divided by 6, math 1, enter. And it's going to be 8/3. Okay? All right, let's talk about distributive property. Distributive property referred to as the double rainbow. Okay, but formally on the STAR test they're going to say distributive property. And the double rainbow just meant that you had parentheses, and you had an expression inside of here, and you had something on the outside of it. And this number on the outside was distributing or creating a double rainbow to everything on the inside of the parentheses. So you multiply coefficients in that case. 4 times 1 is 4x. 4 times 2 is 8, so the answer is 4x plus 8. Okay. You could even have a situation where you have multiple distributive property problems in there. Like this, where you have to double rainbow here. 2 times x is 2x, 2 times 2 is 4, and you have to double rainbow over here. So 3 times x is 3x, plus 3 times 2y, 3 times 2 is 6y. Then you have to combine like terms. 2x plus 3x is 5x. Nothing to combine with the 6y, so plus 6y. Nothing to combine with the 4, so plus 4. Okay. An application problem for property, a lot of times they do them in terms of a rectangle. So this side might be 5x, and this side might be x plus 3. And they might ask you for what's the area of this figure. And so area is multiplication. It's length times width, or base times height. So it's multiplication of this times that. So our area is going to be equal to 5x times x plus 3. So again, we double rainbow. 5 times 1 is 5. X times x, these are 1s. And remember, you add the exponents, so that's x to the second. Anytime you have x times x, it's x squared. And then you have 5x times 3 is 15x. Those are unlike terms, so you're done solving that. Okay. You could even have this in a solving situation where you had 2 parentheses x plus 2 equals 10. And so your first step would be to get rid of the parentheses. 2 times x is 2x, plus 2 times 2 is 4, equals 10. Subtract 4 from both sides. 2x equals 6, divide by 2, and x equals 3. All right. Make sure you finish writing all this on your own paper and then bring this into your teacher for extra credit.